Hi guys, I wanted to give you guys an update on how I was doing. A couple months ago I had, well, first of all, I got lucked out. The bottom of this actually comes off, so I didn't have to worry about it taking it all apart. So I've got to get to this cap, this suppressor cap, and this here, that's a 1 microfarad, that's 0.5. A couple months ago when I first did the first video on this, I had put a post on the on the Philco forum, and someone messaged that told me that make sure I get as close to these values as possible, which I can confirm in that Mallory publication that I really should be reading, that I keep skimming through. Anyway, so they had mentioned, this person had mentioned that I really should be getting, 1600 volt or above snubber caps. So that was fine. So I went ahead and ordered a couple of them. They're a little pricey, but I did not pay attention to the size of them. And I did notice how big they were when they came in. But, this is them. And it's not going to fit. And it's so overkill, I think. And especially considering that this is a 0.56. The only thing I could find was 0.56. This one's 2,000 volts. I mean, it's twice as thick as the original one, so I think that was kind of a bit overkill. Not to mention, this isn't going to fit in there. It'll get away. If I was to fit this in here and be able to close it up, I would not be able to get the vibrator into its socket. So I made a bit of an emergency phone order, actually, with Mauser on Thursday. And since they have a big warehouse in Coppell, Texas, which is about 20 miles from here. Anyway, it'll be here Monday. Or they will be here Monday. So I ordered 600 volt ones. They're a lot smaller. I paid attention to the size. Although these are pretty beefy caps. They are self-healing. Anyway, I also had thought, well, the only manufacturer I could find was the Cornell Dublier, so I thought that would, I'll support an American company and whatnot, but guess what? They're made in China, so much for that. Anyhow, so I made that order. In the meantime, I thought I'd start taking stuff apart, cleaning up the chassis. I managed to get the gunk off of the top of the IF cans here. It looked like rust, although it was just dirt. Being that this came from Texas, everything was red. The dirt here is red. And it actually did look like rust, but with a little elbow grease I got at least most of the stuff off. There's some pretty nasty corrosion on here, which I'll hit with the navel jelly. I took apart the tuning condenser, and I'm going to dump this into the ultrasonic bath. And I'll have to tell you what, I got this idea from John. I think it was his 630, 635, where he had just bought his. And, I have to say that I definitely, for, what little experience I have, I endorse that big time, because it just gets the crud out of places that there's just no way you could ever get into. And so, anyway, this will be the 4th tuning condenser that I have put through, and so far I'm 3 for 3. Everything's fine. Some people may cringe with this, but I have put 2 now into the bath that had the mica still on them, because the mica on these Philcos, this one doesn't have any at all. This is exactly the same tuning condenser model number that they use in the 610, and there is a bug flying around here. In fact, they even have a 610 stamped on this tuning condenser. So the vernier dial here is a bit rough, so I will end up taking it off, and now that I've seen John do a couple of these, hopefully I won't lose a ball bearing, and I will use a towel as he recommends. So we don't want them all rolling around, but be that as it may, this is, you can hear it making noise. So I'm going to pop this in there, and I'm going to start working on the chassis here. I've taken lots of pictures, and just, you know, in the middle, near the end of 1936 is when, or in the middle to the end, I guess, of 1936 is when Philco switched to what they call the glowing mask dial. And on my 610, as you noticed, you see all 3 pointers all at the same time, and they switched to this glowing mask so that it actually blocks the light from the band that you're not tuned in on. Boy, that gnat's annoying. It's really complicated. I mean, it's got this, I'm assuming it's wool, big old wool washer, and it's got this arm that actually clamps onto the tuner, and as you tune the bands, this actually goes on like so. Maybe I should have. I wasn't actually going to do a video, but I just figured I would, just because it's kind of like y'all keep me company. That sounded kind of sad. Anyway, so this fits on here. I did take pictures. Oh, there we go. So when you tune it, it actually, well, I've got it backwards, but it actually turns this and blocks out the band, the 2 bands you're not currently on. So, like I said, there's a lot of parts on this. I took about a dozen pictures. Interestingly, when I took the lamp assembly apart here, and I did this before with the 610, and if you guys have watched my videos, you know that I got freaked out because there was actually the spring was in there, and I didn't actually realize it when I did that one, and something had shot across the room. It turned out to be a big old glob of solder, but it scared the bejeebus out of me because I thought I had lost this small piece here, which is where the bulb makes contact. I saw in one of John's videos when he was just a couple days ago, where he was talking about parts that could be shorted and whatnot, and these plastic pieces. And now I don't know what I did with it, but he had mentioned if he had to replace them, he would use like a nylon washer or whatnot. But actually, what he got me thinking of, and I actually thought of this when I first saw them. There it is. If you use oh boy, my electronics brain just went straight out of my head. If you use I don't know what I did with it. Starting to become disorganized. If you use components, like say, I get a lot of the transistors, surface mount transistors. They're kind of oval shaped, I guess. You can get these. Well, that's actually a brass washer. I figured that you could probably use one of these. This is one of the isolators. Where's the lens? This is one of the isolators for that you use to, since the body of those tends to be negative. Lo and behold, it is pretty much the same size as, I'm just all over the place here. It's pretty much, well, actually it is the same size as these inserts. And you can pick these up at an electronics store. So if you ever come across one, that's an idea for you. Granted, it's a little short on this end, but you could certainly find something if you needed to have a long sleeve. I would just make a real short end of wire, but anyway, I figured that this would work for it. And they actually do come. I don't know how this brass one got on here. They actually do, when you buy these. There's 2 of them in a package, or they come with, say, a voltage regulator if you buy that particular style. And they do come with a fiber washer. I mean, a fiber. Actually, I think it's mica. Well, yeah, it's a washer, and it fits just like that. So it would pretty much be a good replacement for one of these if you lost it. Anyway, I just happened to get that idea when I was watching his video. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is, put this all back together. And I really can't wait for this pollution alert of ours to go away. I have noticed when I'm listening to my own videos, and now that I'm pointing it out, you'll all notice it. Because I had mentioned it to a couple of my friends, and they hadn't noticed it till I pointed it out. But you know, we've been in this like stage 1 pollution alert in Dallas for like 2 months now, and it's just doing a number on my sinuses and on my lungs. So I just keep clearing my throat. And I guess since I used to do speech classes in high school, you know, they used to really jump on you for saying a lot and stuff like that. So now that I pointed it out, which was probably not a good idea, you'll notice. So I'm gonna slather this up with some navel jelly, and I think since I decided I'm gonna go slow on this, now would be a good time, I think, for me to practice restuffing caps. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and restuff this is a double, this is a double 8. It's only 200 volts, which of course I don't think I have any 8s. So I'll have to use my slightly more expensive ones. So I just have to laugh because my 8.2s, is it? No, it's 3.9. My my 8.2s, they're I think I'll have enough room. What do you think? So I'm gonna go ahead and take those out. I think while I'm at it, I may just try to restuff this one too. Anyhow, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I just wanted to, wow, it's already been 13 minutes. So I guess I'll go ahead and end this video, or actually I think what I'll do is I'll clean the condenser here and add it on to the video just so you guys can see. I actually noticed this happening with in John's video, and I noticed it in mine as well before. I blanked out the sound. But there's something about the ultrasonic cleaner that drives the microphone in these video cameras absolutely ape poopy. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I will be back in just a moment. Okie dokie. Well, as you can see, that water is pretty nasty. I promise it was clear when I started. Anyhow, this item is now actually quite hot. Ow. Alright, well, here we go. It's nice and clean. I even put a copper piece in there. Yeah, that didn't come out quite as clean. This is actually copper coated steel. Anyway, I'll take a brush to that one, but I guess it's fairly clean. I guess it would have made sense if I grabbed some paper towel here. So I'm going to go ahead and fish that out. I'm going to fish this out. And just so I can show you here what I noticed the last time. Now check this out. I'm going to set this for, it doesn't matter I guess. So now, if this works the same as it did last time, the minute I turn this on, the sound's going to go crazy. Now watch it prove me wrong. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off and put it out to dry. And I've got some navel jelly soaking in the rust spots. And I think that's going to be it for now. And I'll just probably clean this up a little bit more tomorrow. And otherwise, my parts will be in on Monday. Until then, thanks a lot and hope you have a great weekend.